also, a lot of this is going to come down to, at least according to Fetish, going to give the man props, at least according to Fetish, a lot of this is going to come down to yard control between both of these teams. But the only problem is that you need to know the smokes to be able to get yard control. So do these teams actually know the smokes? Do they know how to get everything rolling for themselves here? That's what we're about to find out here. We are not wasting any time getting into the pistol round here. Na'Vi at least get the easier start, but Fnatic will be on T side.
I think if Na'Vi win this map, it happens with them playing a whole bunch around on the CT side without ever losing a single person. Because the problem for the CT side is once you lose somebody, you have to adjust your position, and if you don't do it correctly, it's really tough. Now the rush is on for the A bomb site. Seized waiting in hot. C set 75 gonna go down. Crims with a great opening, and Zeus actually taking out a lot of damage on that fall.
On the ladder, that's gonna hurt, and they don't actually go for the plant. They cancel it. They're so confident right now, Fnatic. They've got the man advantage. They've got a two-man advantage, and this is just falling apart now for Na'Vi. They're trying to get in and do some damage, but there you go. Zeus and Starix bring it back somehow to a 2-on-1, and the bomb hasn't even been planted. Olofmeister has to clutch this.
And he's gonna get the one kill. Reloading, it goes down. Zeus picks up the triple kill. So confident, maybe too confident in that position there.
That was, and you can see Guardian, everybody on Na'Vi getting so hyped. It was so close, but magnificent play from Zeus and Starix to bring it back to that situation. They turn it around, and Fnatic have to be kicking themselves for not getting the plant when they could. That could have changed everything. Olofmeister has to face them, turn it into a 1v1 to have a chance at getting that bomb plant, and it just doesn't happen.
Yeah, and even if they wanted to readjust and actually, you know, just plant on the other side, but they went looking for kills, and that's just too dangerous. This time they're really quick down the vents. I like this movement from Fnatic, and the bomb is going to go down here. So that's really smart play. They get some kills in as well. It's a very, very cool round from the Swedes.
This is dangerous. They are not going to get the bomb plant because they do manage to actually rotate a man down to cover that lower site. JW still run and gun with that CZ. Picks up one. Stark's going to get outflanked by Olof. This could be a complete turnaround. Olofmeister runs out of bullets though, and he gets hunted down by Edward.
And visible frustration there from Olofmeister. He knew that should have been a kill. That should have been 100% on Starix, which would have made it a 2-on-1. JW has the bomb, but these rounds are close. Fnatic could have won this round as well as the pistol.
Oh, and he's actually going up to this upper site. This is great from JW. Na'Vi expecting him to go to the lower. Edward is still alive in vents, however. He could get the drop on JW. He spots him, doesn't make any noise. And there you go, Edward gets the kill. Fnatic, no plant. Na'Vi managing to deny that. That whole round for Fnatic was all about getting a man through squeak door as quickly as possible, down T-Vent and onto that lower bomb site to just get the plant money. That was what they all wanted, was that plant money to be able to buy in this round.
And imagine if they had put down the bomb, even just in the 2-on-2, how much pressure would have been on Na'Vi to get in there. No bomb plant. Not only did it not give Fnatic the money to buy in this round, it also meant Na'Vi had so much time to move around afterwards.
Now it seems like Fnatic again, they're just going to go for a straight up YOLO play out onto A. Zeus is flashed in main, and they're going for it again. They're just going to get that bomb straight down the vents, and he's actually coming back up through the vents. It looks like they want to go for a fake here. Fnatic getting fancy, and they're getting punished.
Zeus, gotta be careful, running out of bullets, pulling out the pistol. Really should take some time to reload, and they're doing a lot of tricks here with the vents. Jumping up one, moving up the other. It is a 3-on-3. Na'Vi struggling in rounds where even Fnatic just have pistols. That's a really bad sign for what's to come.
Well, shots already going out. Once they manage to line them up, Edward will finish it. The bomb has been dropped out, and this is the big thing here, is that Zeus, he sees the bomb. He has to be worried about the flank from yard. Olofmeister managing to work around, look through main. Zeus sees it coming, though, decides to change up his position. Gonna get behind CT Red, into Garage, in fact, and this allows Olofmeister to walk in, but Olofmeister, he's never gonna expect Zeus to be here. Easy kill for Zeus. Edward gets another kill, and this is gonna be the third round lockdown for Na'Vi.
They're really not holding that A-bomb site very well. I think Fnatic have a great chance of having a really good first half here. It feels like Na'Vi, I mean, we know there's not the skills that are lacking, but they might not be that used to the angles here. And they're not using very many grenades either. There's no smokes in the hut. There's no Molotovs down towards the squeaky door. They're really taking it slowly like that. This time they have bought 2 Molotovs, so that's actually a pretty good upgrade, I think.
It is. I mean, this stops that rush. If the mollies go down here, Olofmeister looking towards main. He's looking to pick off Zeus, who's been playing that position quite frequently here. It's Guardian out in yard. Not going to land the shot on the man on silo. That's JW up there right now for Fnatic. Flip comes out, and Guardian does not get it. But still, this is pressure on Fnatic now, because Guardian, that's a terrific ally to just be holding with that op. He is not a fun person to be running up against. You have to land a sick AK headshot if you want to clear him out of there quickly.
Nice position from Edward out here. I'm really loving this. And Olofmeister trying to scope up inside the hut there, see if he can catch anyone in CT main. And some time spent here for Fnatic just walking around, feeling out Na'Vi.
And Guardian actually taking up about as passive a position as you can get, all the way back in CT spawn, looking towards Yard. So they really, I mean, a lot of this is coming down to Yard focus right now. Na'Vi seeing, or Fnatic rather, seeing if they can find any picks anywhere, but Edward pushes up from Secret, finds JW with his knife out, and that's going to be the first frag going Na'Vi's way. Edward taking a bit of damage.
Olofmeister also down to 90. Oh, it was a great opening from Pronax, and a second kill is going to drop Guardian. Definitely nicely done. Edward rotating into position here into the squeak is going to be really good. Are they going to realize that he's down? They've only got 20 seconds, actually. If they try and put the bomb down here and it fails, that's horrible. There's a Molotov covering it as well. 17 seconds, 16. The time is running out here. Flusher opens up. Edward's going to pick up the one kill here. Now it's a 1-on-3. 10 seconds left. They're going to go for the plant here. And this grenade can't stop it. Close, very close round, but Fnatic pick it up. And now he can't make it happen, but that was in large part due to that double opening from Pronax.
Yeah, I mean, Pronax opened it up wide at ramp. That was excellent from him. The two crucial kills to allow Fnatic to start putting pressure on there. I love the position from Edward. Somebody's been watching Titan at least, because that is a go-to play for Titan. Smith's getting down in Toxic like that. Zeus trying to get a bit fancy there at the end there with the nade. Not sure if I approve. I mean, he still had bullets in his rifle. He should have been just spraying madly, because with 10 seconds left, if he drops that bomb carrier, trying to defuse, there's no time for Fnatic to actually get the plant. So,
and in spite of Na'Vi winning 3 rounds in a row, because they lost so many players in those rounds, they have to eco straight away. So Fnatic are bouncing right back in the game.
Yeah,
the way Na'Vi are playing right now, I think it's almost impossible for Fnatic not to win this game. Na'Vi really need to change what they're doing.
Well, going into this, we knew that Fnatic, they actually have put some work into this map at least. I mean, LGB, we've seen them play it before as well. Now it's a question of as to whether the new LGB members can mesh well with the Fnatic members, right? Crims and Olofmeister, can they blend in with the other three on this new map that I don't think they've really put any time into at all. Whereas Na'Vi, I mean, it's just fact. Na'Vi don't play Nuke. They really don't. So their T side, I think, is going to be a lot of what Fnatic have been doing, really. Basically, just rush out, try and get kills quickly, and try and go for picks. Rely on the aim to do the job.
Yeah, that's very, very tough. Guardian goes down as well. If the CTs know what they're doing on their side, then just rushing like that, it's going to be really, really hard for Na'Vi. For Na'Vi. It's
going to be brutal. I mean, because good crossfire setups, I mean, even like average crossfire setups are very tough to deal with on A site, on B site, right? So, I mean, if Fnatic can get into decent positions, it can turn into a slaughter very quickly. It all comes down to the entry frags for Na'Vi. And I mean, they still have Zeus. They still have, well, Zeus is obviously capable, as we've seen so far in this half, but Seized, Edward, Guardian, like those are the guys we're going to be looking to for Na'Vi when the half switches. But Fnatic will pick up a second round here. Everybody holding on to their guns as well. Na'Vi, not exactly sure if they have the money to be able to go for a buy just yet. Edward has 4,500, but they will manage to have just barely enough. A couple FAMASs will have to make do.
It's not exactly great. I think on the CT side for Na'Vi, one of the strengths would have been to have Guardian outside with the AWP. Really goes without saying. So the fact that they can't afford one, I don't really blame them for forcing it up here, but the fact that they can't afford one could really be a big issue.
And now we have JW, who's actually going to be making his way up to Yard. He's going to get boosted up onto Silo. And now, this is when it turns into a bit of the shooting gallery. He's expecting a man to be playing patiently behind CT Red, but Guardian actually looking towards main, making sure that anybody can't drop down on top of main roof and look to split A. So, very passive hold here from Guardian. C's taking a lot of damage through the door there, which is a bit unfortunate for him.
He actually just walked in front of it as well. So that seems strange. Grenade that drops him even lower down. Smoke's going to go off here. But one more bit of damage through there, and he's probably going to go down. JW looking for more openings if he drops down, though. Guardian is there to spot him. I don't think Guardian's been...
Guardian spots him.
Should be an easy kill here. JW in a lot of trouble.
Hot feet! It's like we're watching a spaghetti western. Guardian making JW dance.
Man, that should have been a pick-off. That's, I mean, 7 HP is enough for JW to still do a lot here. So maybe a little bit unfortunate.
That is, I mean, 7 HP on JW. You drop that up on top of main. Olofmeister can't get up to it. Crims either, so it gets rough for Fnatic. But now Starks is going to be able to get into a position on long, or rather in window, on the lower site. Has to break that window, though. Not sure if Fnatic were close enough to hear that, though. And they have Edward waiting down in Toxic as well.
They're going back. This is pretty going to be an A push here. Crims does get the kill, but Olofmeister and Pronax open up, and there's going to be some good returns coming in here. Now, just 10 seconds left. Flusher goes up, and he does take down the kill. He's still in a 1-on-2. 11 seconds, jumps down 1 point of health, and just 6 seconds. He's going to go for the plant, and he might just be allowed to get it as well. That's a big victory for Fnatic, even losing the round. It's not too bad for Flusher just committing to it.
That was actually a fantastic hold, all things considered here for Na'Vi, managing to again get that crossfire set up, and that's what it's all about really on this upper side. Is if you have two guys, unless Fnatic know exactly where to be looking to find them quickly enough to get those kills, well, Fnatic can just get mowed down despite getting the entry on seized. So this kind of resets things for Fnatic. Thanks to the previous 2 rounds, though, they have actually got quite a bit of bank going into this round. And we've seen a lot of it getting spent here, that AWP for JW, for example. But still, Na'Vi able to put together a buy as well. I mean, it's so close for both of these teams, really, as far as the money is concerned. That's the real problem here. Na'Vi need to get a bit of breathing room if they want to actually get enough rounds on this CT half to have a fighting chance going into their second.
Yes, indeed. Outside, we do have Guardian with the AWP, but they also have one on JW. He's going to take the peek, and a little bit too late there. He misses the shot, which should have been an easy one for someone like Guardian, and he does take down JW, so it's actually almost even better. And Edward going to drop Pronax, so 2-for-1 trade really early on, and Olofmeister with a great return. Not bad, not bad.
Looking to the likely spot there. Seized getting punished. The bomb has been dropped. They're kind of caught in a box here below vents. Zeus is going to be the one holding here. He's trying to push them back. He does a lot of damage to Flusher. Drops him down to 10 HP. Stark's trying to move in to get the kill, but they're not going to manage to get it fast enough there, Na'Vi. And Fnatic are rotating once again, but they still have a minute left on the clock. They just need to keep their cool here, Fnatic. Not give away a frag, not rush things. Take their time and set it up. Olofmeister just not managing to spot Zeus quite yet, but they're out on this A site, and there you go. Zeus turns in time, realizes what's happening.
Yeah, good information. Olofmeister's going to be careful. There's a guy on high as well. Guardian does go down here, 2-on-3. Still got 35 seconds to make a play. Flusher's going to join up side, and can they make this happen? The bomb goes down, but they actually have decent positions here. Zeus and Starix. And we'll see if they can make it work. One is spotted behind. I think they know there's one in vents too.
They heard that drop.
A lot of people they have to look for. Crims with a great headshot, and now Zeus should run away.
And Zeus deciding that it's going to be too much to handle here. If he can pick up this AWP, that's actually going to be a pretty big win here. Give that to Guardian in the next round. He's just going to be looking to save his rifle. Despite the fact that he knew where Olofmeister was, he did hear him go down into vents.
Yeah, you couldn't really do anything about it. Zeus looking up here, and he's going to go down to Crims. So nice pickup as well, and Fnatic win a 3rd round. Definitely well played by them. I think one of the things we're seeing from Na'Vi here is actually that they're just not used to playing the angles. You can see down when Zeus was down in towards Secret, towards the the underground, he knew that they were there, but you can tell from the way he peeked and when he was sort of getting ready to shoot that he's not used to playing those positions.
He's no Freiburg.
No, and it's hard to just adapt for. It seems easy, but at this level, even small things really make a big difference.
At this level, we're talking about split-second differences here between landing the shot and not getting it. And when you're not used to the angles that you're holding, that is going to cost you that split second that's going to allow the other team to land the shot first. And at this level, these guys are so good at hitting headshots, especially with AKs, they will find you and they will take advantage of it. So Na'Vi, they have to try and stay a step ahead on Fnatic, but when they don't have the experience on the map, that's when, well, life gets very hard for them.
Yeah, attempted rush into lobby, not a bad idea, but Fnatic were ready for it. You can catch a terrorist team off guard like that and get a couple of kickoffs and maybe spin something from there. It's going to be 4-4. The game has been equalized here, and Na'Vi are going to go for the bias. They probably should. They realize that they have to get a little bit of control back here. They're giving away far too many rounds to Fnatic. 4 rounds for Fnatic, who have a bit more experience on the map, means that when they switch over to this CT side, I mean, 4 rounds is still cutting it a bit close, but if Fnatic start to get up to that 6-7 round area, that's going to be really tough for Na'Vi to come back in this half, or in the second half. So all the pressure on Na'Vi now with this buy. JW looking through to main, may just put a shot through, not going to do it. Starks does find Pronax though, and that's at ramp, but it's a quick 1-for-1 as Flusha pushes through, and now it comes down to the man holding it across, and that's not going to work for Seized. He gets overrun. That ramp position really seems very weak at the moment. Edward might be able to make something of this, though. Guardian looking towards the window here. Gonna pick up the first kill, so that starts bringing it back to a 3-on-3, and Flusha's kind of low. There's a chance still. Edward will get a kill. The bomb being planted inside, and oh, it looked like that should have been the angle, but it wasn't.
Not quite. Just shooting over there, not quite connecting, and that's a big opportunity missed now, but Na'Vi do have the man advantage closing in on this. Olofmeister's taking tremendous damage already, down to 12 HP. He's gonna get overwhelmed, and JW is now the man holding. Misses a very crucial flick shot. That is not supposed to happen, JW, but then again, you make it up with the no-scope. You get the second one, and he goes for the third, but he doesn't get it. He has to turn to the pistol, but JW comes through, and Fnatic 1v3 clutch the round. Na'Vi have to be reeling.
And I mean, a lot more evidence to suggest that Na'Vi really are not used to playing on this map. It's when JW probably should have had the first shot as well. It looked like a huge miss from him. But once he missed it, they had so much time to get up and take care of him like that. And now Na'Vi, I think, is starting to dawn on them. We even if we put in some practice secretly here, it might not have been quite enough.
No, this is a problem. They're going to quickly lose control here. Fnatic, they can start spinning. JW just gave his team that. I mean, that's also the boost of confidence for the team, right? Your player clutches around like that. That makes a huge difference for the entire atmosphere, the communication on the team. Everybody's going to get just a little bit more confident when they take the peaks, and that is not going to be good for Na'Vi, who are definitely going to be not very pleased with how that round went. That's when the confidence starts to suffer on their side. So we have to see if they're going to be able to stabilize here at some point. But it's another round of pistols for Na'Vi, 4 CZs, and a P250 on Guardian. They know enough to go for the cheek boost up to heaven. So, I mean, the thing is that there's a big difference between watching other teams play a map and practicing that map yourself. So Fnatic, they have the room to be able to do some of the cool things that they've seen other teams go for.
Guardian is actually ready for it down here, so he's sort of anticipating someone might be showing up. He spots the gun, and Zeus will take a kill, but Seas falls. Still, anything works here for Na'Vi. Any kind of kills they can get in, pick up a rifle or something. It's all down to that right now. They gotta make something magical here if they want to get back into this game right now. Starix will pick up another one. Edward is outside, and it's a 1-on-3, so there will be 6-4 here for Fnatic, and that is already plenty of rounds to work with for the Swedes.
Well, we're seeing that there's very good communication on Fnatic as well there, because as soon as they realize that Edward is backed off, JW instantly changes up his plant position, because he was planning for main, and instead, once he knows, okay, Edward can actually come through main to stop that plant, no hesitation, stops the plant, changes it up so that he's going to be hidden. So that's, I mean, it's the little details here, but Fnatic are definitely looking very confident after that big win from JW. Na'Vi, where exactly are they sitting as far as money is concerned? I mean, they've had to go for 1 round of eco, and it seems like they should be going for another buy here after this one. They all should have enough money to make it happen. Yeah, they will. So Guardian has the option.
Let's see if we can actually hear if there's any communication going on Na'Vi's side, just to see what they're saying.
Вариант, ты можешь убить Трампа, в принципе, там все время живо идет на рацию и перечисляет. Иду.
Дениска, беги в сотку, типа прямо, понял, по девятке, и убивай типа в будке, который может выйти нас отстрелить.
Guardian, where are you going? Ramps?
Rampa.
Okay.
Я упал.
So definitely recognize the word ramp, and they're right. Ramp is definitely one of the places that is been really weak so far, but you saw them high five. They sounded like they're still talking. They don't sound like they're completely dispirited, and that is at least a good sign.
Yeah, absolutely. Good communication. Zeus are actually rallying the troops there as well. Starks and Guardian communicating. That's crucial right now, but Seas getting picked off on Cat is not going to help things for Na'Vi right now. Already down a man. Edward's taking fire as well, and Fnatic have now got the man advantage with the gear to boot. They should be able to move in here at ramp and actually apply pressure to the part that's, I mean, to the weak spot on the map.
And you have to ask the question, how on earth JW managed to get into CT main without anyone spotting him? That is like a 1 in a million occurrence on Nuke, and nobody at all was holding yard. None from Na'Vi. So that was a very, very clean entry there. Edward falls down, does pick up JW, unfortunately for him. And Edward's going to try and make his escape here before he goes down. He's very low on health.
He actually does make it out of there, and Plush is looking like he's going to come back down again. Starix, there we go, gets a kill on Pronax. Not enough to stop the plant happening, though. They do manage to plant for main. Edward managing to get the flank, though. Drops Olofmeister scarily low, but he loses his teammate in the process.
And Edward backing off slowly here. Realizes there's not really much he can do. If they had the backup from high, it would have been different, but this 1-on-2, I mean, with this little health, it seems almost impossible.
It's going to be a question of whether they actually manage to figure out that this is going on. It looks like we do have the pause coming in.
And I'm wondering if he's going to die here anyway.
No, he shouldn't die here.
Are you sure about that?
No, yeah, it's planted for main.
That's cutting it pretty close, though.
Yeah. That should be a safe spot. Like, you should never die from that position. Although 8 HP, I mean, maybe if it's planted like on the far side towards Cat, he could probably die there. It'd probably do enough. But planted for main. Looks like Devil Walk is going to be handing another Red Bull over. Karn does not approve. And yeah, this is what we expect to see, really. Because one thing that's been an adjustment to the rules here, and this is for the major. This is well, I think the first time that we've seen this right now, at least in quite some time. Not the first time in the CS history, of course, because 10 years is a long time. But yeah, in CSGO right now, you can actually take one timeout per map. So this is accorded to every team here. You are allowed to have a 3-minute timeout once per map. So Na'Vi, you know, things are not going well for them here on this CT side. They know how crucial this half is for them. They have to get more rounds than 4. I'm approving of this break. Like, take a breather, take a step back from the game.
Well, I mean,
stand up and talk a little bit. See what you can come up with.
The rest of this half and the second half is the difference right now for Na'Vi between going to the semis or getting knocked out of the tournament. So if you want to take a timeout, now is pretty much the time to do it. And they they must be talking about how to actually set up a proper defense. They, you know, we were listening in and we could hear that they had some concerns about the ramp room. So it's good that they put some effort on it, but then they gave up the entirety of the outside area, no one covering, and that meant JW could just walk in casually and take a kill inside the A-bomb site. And that's the problem when you're trying to fix issues on the fly for Na'Vi, that, you know, you give up something else.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that you're learning. It's a learning process right now for Na'Vi, and I'm sure that they're just going over it like, okay, now let's buckle down. Basically, everybody play their spot, and just try and land the shots, because this is down to Edward basically having that M4, having saved it from the last round. Going to check real quick and see if they have the money to go for another buy, and they could force it up here actually. And we're going for the M4 and Kevlar. The rest of the team should be able to go for a FAMAS, M4s. They will be able to have enough here to be able to put up at least a bit of a fight, but Fnatic still have full rifles, an AWP on JW, and full nades. So they really do have the advantage going into this round. You need those nades on CT side to be able to stop rushes coming in from the T side. Although I'm not sure exactly. Right now we're getting more towards the end of the half, and you know, you see aggression at the beginning of the half, right? Where it's you still have some rounds to lose. You can still kind of give a little bit away. But towards the end of the half, I expect to see Fnatic play a bit more calm, a bit more patient, and not wanting to throw away the advantage that they have. I mean, they already have a tremendous advantage going into the remaining rounds, but still, I'd be surprised if Pronax was just like, okay, let's go crazy, guys. Let's go ham.
Aggressive setup from Na'Vi pushing up here. JW misses the first kill, but there's a lot of people stacked up right here. They're so low on health. One grenade would be enough, and actually it's going to be a team kill from JW. Zeus will pick up a kill, and we're back into a 3-on-3 after a series of strange events going into that radio room. Guardian potentially in a great position. He spots one and sees. They should be communicating here. They must know he's there. Guardian goes down. A big mistake here from Na'Vi. We're going to get the return kill at least, but the bomb is planted, and it is a 2-on-2.
2-on-2. Zeus and Seized moving on through. JW's waiting in the vents. Zeus actually getting caught on the ladder there, and they know exactly where Seized is, on the edge of that smoke. A Na'Vi at the end cannot hold off the Fnatic push. Fnatic just getting straight down onto that site, catching Na'Vi off guard, despite the fact that Na'Vi actually had, what, 3 guys waiting at radio. They couldn't get the spray down.
Yeah, and I was going to say, you said catching him off guard, but Guardian saw him jumping in the window.
Oh, he communicated that. You saw C's pre-firing it.
Yeah, but
so
that was
definitely.
But that was not a smart thing to do, because it's a big risk. With an M4A1, you have 20 bullets.
Oh, sure.
So he doesn't get the kill, runs out of bullets, and you know.
Again, it's that second behind, perhaps, right? That 1 second that makes a difference.
It probably is. Na'Vi really struggling here. They're going to force it up once more. See if they can connect with the last couple of rounds here. We're in the 13th first half here of this final map between these two absolutely great teams. Right now it's working out brilliantly for Fnatic. 8-4.
8-4, just an excellent lead right now for the Swedes. And this is the map to decide who moves on to the semifinals and who will be going home. Quarterfinal match here on the line. And Fnatic, a major championship holder already from DreamHack Winter last year, the first major in CSGO. These guys are looking to get back into the finals and get it done.
They are. Take down Edward with a quick trade here. Guardian can't really help out. Now he's going to be careful. He's going to go down as well. Na'Vi being picked up one at a time, not setting up any positions where they could get a return frag. Zeus goes down, and then after that is going to be Starix chuking in. So this is one long round of Na'Vi dying one by one by one.
Starix is going to get overwhelmed in the end. The bomb plant will happen even. So it's an extra, $300 for the guy who got the plant. Nicely done there. Fnatic getting greedy. But 14 rounds. and Na'Vi just continue to force by. They really have no option. They can't save at this point. They need the remaining rounds. Guardian, realizing that they didn't have a single nade on the team, just decides to go Kevlar-less. You know, he's like armorless. He's Rambo right now. He's just going to run in, chuck nades, and people are going to die.
There's really not much we can say right now for Na'Vi. I mean, it's really it's a shame because you know, you really don't want the last map to be like this. But we've seen it once before from them. This is a good start though. Cease with a double kill, and it's going to be Edward picking up JW. So it's nice to see them finally landing some shots, and that's out in the courtyard, all of it. That's
yeah, exactly. And now Olafmeister is the one picking up this AWP. He's going to get boosted up on the box. Let's see if he turns right at the right time. Does not. Guardian gets the timing on him. And this is just going to be Crims getting caught in a box. Crims does manage to turn around and pick off Zeus. But he is still stuck out here. 1 minute left, and he decides to try and make a run for it with that AWP. I mean, if he can get in there, I mean, that is a choke point. He could just turn that into a shooting gallery, but still. I think Fnatic, regardless of what happens, I mean, they have 9 rounds on the T side right now. That's just huge. That is...
It's an overwhelming amount. I'd be more than just a little bit stunned if Fnatic somehow can't win this on the second half. Yeah. Win or lose the pistol round shouldn't even have such a big implication, but we'll see. We'll see. 15th round is coming up, the last of the first half here. Now we do, of course, have money to buy, but so do Fnatic. Plenty of that indeed. And they are going to be going it slowly again.
Now this time, patience, right? Looking for the picks with JW out in yard. Guardian has it as AWP as well. And he's looking all the way up to Pronax. Is Pronax going to peek around this corner? Is the flash going to come through? JW taking fire. And this is turning into a real shootout in yard. Once again, a lot of focus being put here by both teams. They're looking to land the shots, but Guardian is still alive here.
Flash goes in, he's going to be forced back. He could have died then. That's a very, very dangerous maneuver here for the AWP. He's going to take down Olafmeister. That's not at all bad. Now it's a 4-on-3, and he's going to re-peek. He didn't spot the feet then. I'm surprised he didn't. Flash out, goes for it, and misses the shot. JW. They should work more together here, Fnatic. They're not good. There's no reason why they're challenging Guardian one at a time, really.
It's also a good movement from Guardian trying to set that up, but JW not getting the shot on Guardian. Guardian is still alive out here in yard. This is great footwork from him. JW takes the shot, not going to get it. Guardian perseveres.
And in the meantime, Flush is just cleaning up the entirety of the B-bomb side, single-handedly walking in and taking a great couple of kills there, leaving Zeus and Guardian in a 2-on-4 from a 4-on-4. So that's all Flusher, just being able to walk in.
And that's what we look to Flush. I mean, that's what Fnatic look to Flusher for. He needs to be delivering performances like that. I mean, 15th round, if this ends 10-5, well, Fnatic, they only need 6 rounds going into the second half to secure the win and secure that spot in the semis right now. But Zeus is currently working in on long. Guardian manages to catch Crims off guard. Nice shot there, but Pronax from Toxic returns instantly, takes out Zeus, and Guardian will get flanked by Flusher. Flusher gets 3 frags at the end of that round, and Fnatic are now sitting on 10 rounds going into the second half here. And a lot of this is just coming down to Na'Vi not really having the experience. The knowing, like, a good CT on Nuke all comes down to communication, but also rotations, knowing exactly where your teammates are going to be going in any given situation. And that just comes from hundreds of hours of practice on a given map, knowing exactly how to play it out, who's going to go where, who's going to be looking where, more importantly as well, so that you can most effectively get into position to deal with any kind of push coming out from the T side. And Na'Vi just clearly don't have that experience right now on the map, and that is seriously costing them.
I think ultimately the failure that's happening on Na'Vi's side, it happens on a number of different layers. So you're right, it is the lack of rotation or the incorrect rotation timings. It's also just the wrong angles basically, and it's giving up part of the maps where part of the control to part of Fnatic that they can't allow to do. And all those things combined just means that even now, even though they're really good and they have been hitting some interesting shots here, it is nowhere near enough to make up for what's going on. No,
exactly. Now we get to see exactly if Na'Vi can pull a bit of a Fnatic. The all-out aggression at the beginning, get the momentum going, get a few rounds on the board before Fnatic can get their feet under them and get that economy going. So I think that's going to be crucial here for Na'Vi. Obviously, the pistol round is always important, but for Na'Vi, it's pretty much life or death. They need those 3 rounds.
Part of the problem here really is that because you get, you know, a single veto, and now we potentially have 3 maps out of the 7 that they're not that good at, which could be Overpass, Cobblestone, and Nuke. 3 maps that I mean, even if they have tried, might not be enough. 3 out of 7 means you are probably going to be playing, you know, 1, or if you're really unfortunate, almost even 2 of the maps that you're not good at.
This is a case of basically the wrong map being picked. You have one chance in 3 to land on the map you don't want to play, because both of these teams wanted to play on the new maps. Both of these teams were like, yeah, we want to get in on it on Overpass, on Cobble, and then of course they land on the worst case scenario for both teams actually, because even Fnatic they don't really have the experience on Nuke. So we'll see if they're able to lock down the CT side effectively here versus Navi's push, as Navi will be gearing up for it. Seized with nades, $700 spent on him, and the rest have Kevlar.
It does make you wonder if Navi's going to put some effort into actually learning Nuke one day. You know,
they
if they're
will.
Just one day
at this point, they have to. You can't allow this sort of situation to come through. You just at least need basic strats. And I mean, they have been trying to go for the basic strats. Now we're going to see if they have any here prepared for the T side, but you really do need at least a little bit of experience.
I think what they're going to do is they're going to flash in through the windows here, and then they're going to all jump down CT main and then run into the A-bomb side. So this is kind of like a lemming strat, just all flooding in, and I'm enjoying this. The smoke is going to probably land up towards heaven, and it's a really, really nice smoke as well. Going to maybe block off something for Fnatic. Now let's see here. He's going to be the first guy spotting. He sees all of them coming in, and he's going to pick up an easy kill, and that actually stops the push, and that's the biggest problem here. Flusher just halting it to a grounding it to a hold here. Edward, Gus going to kill Zeus with 1 as well, and somehow it's still a 2-on-4, and now they're coming for Flusher.
Somehow the defense crumbles on the rest of the site. They need to get that bomb down, and it has been planted. Navi doing their jobs, but we're back into a 2-on-2 now. Pronax still alive on high. Flusha closing in, and he's going to get this kill on Zeus. Just one more bullet would do it. Somehow the 2 Navi members are still alive, and we're into a clutch situation for Flusha.
Yeah, and they just gotta leave him alone here. He doesn't have a kid. He's gonna go hunting, and Edward will take him down. Triple kill and a double for Zeus as well. And I'm not sure why Fnatic lost that round at all.
Because, okay, going into this, right, the lemming strat straight up from main into A site, the man to stop that is Flusha, but then he's going to be able to give the early warning to his teammates, who should be able to get into position to stop anybody else coming in through the site.
Yeah.
But that just didn't happen. The rest of the defense crumbled, and we got stuck with Flusha alone in these duels.
The power of that push in through main like that would be that the people in A die quick, and the rest don't have enough time to rotate. But once it stops and they're all battling it out with Flusha, it gives infinite amount of time for Fnatic to do something, but sometimes I guess it doesn't quite work out that way. No. We'll see if Fnatic can pick up an eco round here. They have the scout as well, and Crims is on the corner, going to be taking down Guardian. They do have CZ75s and armor, and Fnatic have already made absolutely exceptional use of these pistols in these games.
Edward, nice pick off there, takes that scout out of play, but there are still 4 bot-up members here for Fnatic, armor and CZs with the 5-7 on Pronax. He really does seem to favor that pistol, despite the fact that it costs an extra $200. You get 20 bullets instead of 12, so I mean, and what, 96% armor pen on that? So I mean, it's pretty silly with the 5-7. If you can get up close, you do a lot of hurt. But now, it comes down to whether Fnatic can actually land those shots, give themselves the opportunity here to catch Navi off guard, because they have dealt considerable damage.
Yeah, JW could have definitely picked up one, and they actually have 2 people here in the hut. They're going to be pushing again. Starix will deal with it, but that's... I love the fact... I like the idea of having 2 people here, just being able to surprise, and Olaf Meister will do just that. Picks up Starix. Going to go for a second one, and it's nearly a triple spray down. It's back into a 2-on-2 here.
This man is key. Seized is key. He's not going to stop Pronax from getting the frag, but still, he turns this into a 1v1. Seized down to 29 HP. Krim's rotating in. He has a Galil now as well, and Seized is going straight to him. But he goes down, and this is a great play here from Seized. With 10 seconds left, he should be able to get the plant in time.
No, Krim's heard it. He should be right on his heels. Krim's a little bit slow here, I feel like. I think Krims could have easily had that. He must have known that Seized couldn't fake it.
A little bit of hesitation, but I mean, Krims has to know that Seized has taken some damage as well. He's got a gun now. He's at full HP. It's just confidence in his ability to clean up this last round. The fake diffuses are going to be coming through here any minute now as Krims gets on that bomb.
There's no kit, so he's gonna have to go for it really, really soon. The longer this goes on, Seized is just waiting here. Krims walks in, he gets the kill quick, but he can't win the round.
He has not managed to pull it off, and that is Navi securing their second round here in this half. Despite Fnatic's best efforts, Krims will live with an AK and armor, but that is not good enough. Fnatic needed that round, actually, to just break Navi right here and now and guarantee that spot in the semis.
Definitely help, but again, you know, the worrying sign for Navi is that, you know, their rifles against pistols, just like on the first half, and they still end up losing so many players.
Yeah.
Which means Fnatic, once we get to the 4th round and they can actually buy, you have to worry.
It's going to be scary. There's no doubt about it for Navi right now. I mean, just really effective pushes all around the map from Fnatic, just putting pressure on Navi, dealing the damage, and turning it into a 1v1. You still have to admire Seized for not peeking at the end. I mean, not buying the fake. He knew that Crims was going to fake. He didn't even check, didn't make any noise, just said, no, you're totally faking. You're trying to bait me out into the open right now so you can stop me.
Even if this goes to 15-10 in favor of Na'Vi, I'm still not going to believe in it until it's actually happening, this comeback. But we'll have to see. 10-7 here. Crims showing himself and instantly falling back. I like that move as well. He's the one with the AK, so be smart if he could stay alive.
He wants to keep Na'Vi guessing right now as to where he is on that map with that rifle, because that's the one thing in the back of Na'Vi's mind. Well, they still have to worry about the pistols and the positioning of the rest of the team, but that AK has the ability to wreck them completely if they rush around a corner unsuspecting. So Crims holding long now, expecting Na'Vi to be pushing down from Secret, because once again, Na'Vi have put all of their focus on Yard, really trying to play off the advantage that these rifles give them with the range.
Well, they will go for a little bit of a boost outside, so they definitely know a little bit of something about what's going on. Pronax walking in, and a great shot on Guardian. It's that pistol range again.
Extremely solid work right now, and C's just going to sneak his way up here. He finds JW on that A site, so brings it back to a 4-on-4. Pronax actually putting some fire through. That's not going to help things. Crims walks in, and he gets one kill with that AK. Na'Vi managed to stabilize, turn this into a 1v2 until Flusha shows up and starts putting some damage down onto Zeus. That's going to keep Na'Vi on their toes. He's going to get the plant from Aid, and Flusha coming very close to getting that kill on C's. That would have been crucial.
Scary position from C's. Not a lot of movement there, but C's does pick up a triple. Zeus with the double, and we're at 10-8 as now the Swedes can actually pick up rifles. And I think now is where Na'Vi are going to be put to the test. Either they somehow, by an absolute miracle, I mean, we're talking divine intervention type thing here, if they are actually going to be able to win this, I think.
Agreed. This is going to be a... Well, Fnatic have limited nades, only 2 HEs picked up, but they still have the flashes, they still have the smoke, so they should be able to stop any kind of rush coming in from Na'Vi. But I'm not surprised to see Na'Vi once again going for Yard. And this is going to be the focus here. Pushing out onto the Yard, trying to get some advantage here. C's managing to get behind main, but there's still Edward alive on Silo. I really love Flush's position, though. Even if Na'Vi get control of Yard, he's still stopping the main entranceway into A site, and he's looking towards Squeak as well. So Flusha giving a lot of information here to his team. Yeah,
Crims with a good opening kill, and he can also hear them coming down. So Crims is going to be peeking up again. Flusha with a kill. Crims picks up a second, and the Na'Vi assault outside is just completely crumbling. And this is how a CT side is supposed to work. The setup for the return frags and the good crossfires.
It's just getting the information and taking advantage of it. Also, Crims having great timing. And you can tell that Na'Vi aren't putting the focus that they need on Secret to be able to stop that kind of push from coming through, because they're still hunting for anybody at all to show themselves in Yard. And Crims just has that timing to peek up, get one kill, and fade away again. This time around, he gets 2, and that's really the difference maker here. Olafmeister spraying wildly, but it will be Pronax to pick up the final frag on Zeus, and now Fnatic secure their first gun round here. Their first buy. 20 rounds on the board, Fnatic with 11, and they only need 5 more to get into that semis. Zeus and his lads, they actually have to eco here. They just don't have money enough for a real buy. I would say, I mean, they could actually go with rifles fairly early, because I would say, like, hey, nades are going to be really important for them. But then you need to know how to use the nades on this map.
Yeah.
You need to know how to cut off Yard with smokes, know where to place the flashes to bank them in properly for the pop. And Na'Vi, I don't think, have that experience.
No, I very seriously doubt that. You said you thought the outside area was a good idea for Na'Vi, and I actually agree. I think if Fnatic are somehow going to be too aggressive, or if they can set up aim duels with Fnatic and come out on top, that might be the best shot, because if they go inside here, imagine the angles they're going to have to realize and try and cover, and it's just not easy. Crims with a great double pickoff, and JW with a max 7, a bit of a, standard play or a classic play from Fnatic or from JW on this map.
Now, I'm not sure, did Edward think he got out of hut and he was still in the smoke? Because he kept bringing the bomb out. I don't know I think maybe he got caught on edge there. He couldn't get out the door, and he thought he may be able to get a smoke. I have no idea, or a plant, but Edward just bringing the bomb out, maybe a bit of a tick for him, really, just trying to keep himself focused, because that is something that these players will do. When you see them swap from a rifle to a pistol or a rifle to their knife really quickly and going straight back to the rifle again, that's a tick that they do basically to keep their mind focused. Because when you're holding an angle for 30 seconds and you know you can't move, if your mind wanders, and we're talking about split seconds here, if your mind wanders just for that moment, what if the enemy peeks around that corner and manages to pop you in the face? So these players do quite a few things with their fingers, with their hands, to keep their minds active and focused on the task at hand.
That's on the one thing, and I think for some of us who played 1.6 for a long time, it's also just because there was actually an animation canceling you could do with.
You could do that as well.
AWP and Deagle, for instance, just getting a little bit faster shot in now is like the classic thing. So I think that's also been inherited for a long time. So it's a little bit of everything into that mix here. 12-8, and we're into the 21st round as Na'Vi trying to avoid elimination here from the ESL 1 major championship.
Fnatic now 4 rounds away, and the buy round coming in here for Na'Vi. JW, this is classic JW as well. The first time we saw Fnatic play Nuke, this is what JW did all game long. Swag 7 in the corner, getting massive frags, and he just somehow finds them. And he turned into the Bank of Sweden, basically. Fnatic never ran out of money their entire CT half because JW just kept getting kills.
Yeah, good fun, right? Good fun. Flusher up on the railing down here, gonna see if he can pick up a kill. Edward actually and Seized will come up with some good ones, and Olofmeister with a good return. So 3-on-3. Olofmeister making a lot of noise, and that actually probably got him killed. So a little bit careless, I think. But Crims is still outside. He's gonna go down, and this is a good opening for Na'Vi, but it isn't over yet. Pronax is still alive. He's gonna be sneaking up the vents, takes down Seized, and now we're in a one-on-one.
And where does Edward go? He's got 40 seconds left, and it looks like he's just going to go straight down secret here. Does Pronax realize exactly what's happening, though? He's getting in the position where he's going to be able to rotate down to ramp fairly quickly through radio, and that's exactly what he's going to do. Seems like he's got an idea of what Edward is up to here. He's looking to see if Edward tried to work his way through yard, through hell, but Edward is already down on that lower side, behind that smoke, getting that plant.
Yeah, decent position from Edward, but oh, Pronax.
He doesn't know.
So he guesses it wrong, also flashes himself, which doesn't really help out.
Takes fall damage. Pronax, what's going on, man?
That's enough. No more mistakes here, Pronax. Just straight down in. And he actually has a grenade, which means he can explode one of these doors and maybe force Edward into a really strange position. Edward crouching here, Pronax charging in, Edward waiting, and he gets the kill. Are you kidding me? Edward with the triple. And a really interesting round from Na'Vi. And Pronax, I think, actually...
If he didn't take the fall damage, he won that duel.
And I think maybe also, I think the series of mistakes there probably put even more pressure on himself, if nothing else, just mentally, because it looked like he was, you know...
starting to flip out.
Yeah,
well, I mean, he's checking angles that Edward would have to be mad to hold, like Edward going all the way back up to secret after that plant. Well, Edward, he just had this perfect little spot to hide in. Pronax not able to get there in time. And Pronax, I mean, you know, you have to have any kind of idea of where your opponent went, right? Because the bomb sites are one on top of the other. So when you hear the plant, sometimes on Nuke, it's tough to tell exactly if it's been planted upper or lower. So Pronax, you know, thinking it was upper, wasted time, took unnecessary fall damage, and ended up paying for it.
Flashing himself in the meantime, too, just for good measure. I don't think the flashbang actually made much of a difference, but, you know, again, mentally, if you feel like, oh, I'm not really on form, I'm out of my zone just a little bit, maybe you're just going to be stumbling too much about.
Well, Na'Vi now actually with the second, basically with a breath of fresh air here. Crims, again, in his position in secret. He's looking to find if Seized is going to walk. He actually, does he just decide to spray through, or did he spot Seized through the smoke there?
I think he knew that smoke was going to disappear in about 2 seconds, so he decides, like, I'm going to shoot and then run back.
Free fire.
It's been really good for Crims, though. He's been great in that position, so I'm not surprised he keeps doing it. Because Na'Vi don't deal with it very well.
Well, one of the Swedish hopes here on the brink of taking this. If they take this round right here, they break Na'Vi's back.
Yeah, that would very likely be Fnatic in the semifinals if they can pick this up. Crims in the back here does get a really good pickup, goes in for a second one, and it works out so well. They're trying to grenade him down. Starix will get a return, but I'm not sure it's going to be enough here. Starix, good double kill here to bring it home, and Olofmeister goes down as well. Fnatic shaking a little bit here. Still no bomb plant. 10 seconds left. They're going to smoke, and they're going to go for it.
And JW knows exactly what's going to happen here. 10 seconds left. Flush up behind it, Vents. JW not making noise on the ladder. He actually gets down here. They have no idea they're right behind, but he could get sandwiched. Did Seized realize?
JW's worried about someone coming and finding him here. That is already really far ticked. Flusher coming in. JW goes down and 1-on-2 now. Na'Vi picking up 2 consecutive rounds here. Flusher can't win this any longer. He's just not got time for it. He does have a kit, but that doesn't matter. I'm not even sure why he's actually fighting right now instead of just falling back. And I think he realizes at the very end here. Seized, gonna explode with the bomb.
Edward as well. Oh, well, Flusher makes sure of it with Edward. Seized manages to live through, but...
yeah, he runs away. That's good.
That was JW not just missing the timing, basically, to catch Seized. Seized turns around, gets the job done when JW comes back down. Not really sure what JW was waiting for there, you know, hanging on the ladder that way.
I think he wasn't sure if there was someone coming up from above. There could have been someone hiding in main or something that was, you know, coming down after him, or he was hoping that someone would walk underneath him. But either way, I agree, it did seem a little bit strange. Those are the only, you know, things that I could really think of. And do we have a bit of a timeout, or is it a technical issue?
It seems like it's a pause coming through now.
Maybe we should try and listen into what Fnatic are saying, because then I don't think they're really panicked yet, but they gotta make sure they don't lose any more rounds, because then they'll actually be echoing.
I kind of want to, okay, let's go ahead and hear.
Det var sista var där så jag blev bortstått.
Mindfuck, men jag blev inställd, men jag borde inte ens utmanat, så det var...
Alltså direkt den här, vi borde bara hålla mot sajten när det är 15 sekunder kvar. Den här rundan kommer jag fan gå upp, de smokar ju bort typ långa, då kommer jag gå upp direkt till röd och bara utmana.
So maybe a little bit of a timeout here, and Fnatic, they do sound frustrated. I wouldn't say like out of control, but just, you know, minor frustrations growing here. What's their money like if you just check Samla?
Right now it's really spare for both teams, in fact. I mean, Na'Vi, they win the round, but they still have to buy up on one member. Zeus, I think he may have gotten dropped actually by Edward, but still. What's big here is that Edward is actually top fragging right now for Na'Vi, 22, 2, and 13. So that's not a bad performance. That's what we want to see. Exactly. Krim's doing a lot of the work, but it's a bit more consistent across the board for Fnatic right now as far as the frags are concerned. Everybody in the high teens. And that's a good performance right now from the Swedes, who have to be talking it over right now. I'm sure they do this timeout, not necessarily even because they feel like the pressure, maybe just to try and break Navi's momentum. Because you're allowed this one timeout per half. Or per game, rather, per map. I mean, so Fnatic, it's like, okay, they're starting to get a little fast here on us. We don't want to lose this advantage that we have. Bam, timeout, break it. Talk a little bit, you know, over what we need to be doing to adjust here and make sure that Na'Vi can't get back into this game.
I actually think, because timeouts is something we haven't really dealt with a lot before, but I think if you are going to have a timeout, it's much better to have it now that you're still in control of the game. You still have a decent position. You just want to make sure you can figure out how to close it and then go on to the semis. Because if you have it, let's say this game went out of control for Fnatic and we ended up in 14-14. If you do a timeout then, getting your players back into the right frame of mind is going to be way more difficult for Devilwalk and Pronax combined. Even with a coach, that's still a hard task. So, yeah, I think sort of strategically speaking, it's not a bad idea for Fnatic to take this time out now rather than later.
Slow down the pace. Yeah. Slow down the pace. And I mean, we've seen it in all sorts of different kinds of sports as well. You know, just basically technical timeouts. I mean, you can use them just the same as regular timeouts when you actually have to discuss everything over again. But Na'Vi right now, it's actually, Na'Vi, we restart the round, or we don't restart the round essentially, but we will have the money here for Na'Vi to buy up. Edward's sitting on nearly 8 grand, so they won't have any trouble at all buying. Fnatic are the ones who are hard pressed at this point, and this is maybe why they take the timeout now as well, because this round is huge for Fnatic. Fully bought up, they have a total of $650 between 3 players on the Swedish lineup.
All right, so yeah, just a bit of a pause. Just wondering if they were saying anything here. Looked like Krims was saying, thanks for waiting, thanks for being patient, right? I mean, it would come as no surprise. I mean, well, they're Swedes as well. They're very polite. Yeah. They're kind of like Canadians. While they keep this doing, let's see what Na'Vi is saying, just for the fun of it.
Это был не тайм-аут, это было...
Я не понимаю, что ты говоришь.
Это был не тайм-аут.
Раз, два, раз.
F1, тыкайте и поехали.
He told,
Играем.
when he press, after 3 seconds, we can hear him. After 3 seconds.
Серега, ты нажимал F1?
Старикс, vote, call vote.
И что теперь?
Все, игра, поехали. Дал топ-1.
Дальше 5.
Мне дроп не нужен. Мне дроп не нужен.
А счет какой?
Я сам.
All right, so the pause is cancelled here. They did have a bit of a sound issue, it sounded like, but they still sounded pretty excited to get back into a little bit of a shout then. Get it on, guys. Here we go. If you're just joining us, then a big welcome here to the ESL stream. This is Na'Vi versus Fnatic, the first of 4 quarterfinals today. You have to stay tuned, cancel all your plans, and watch Counter-Strike with us today.
Yeah, this is where we need to be here. 3 more best of 3s coming at you today. All the quarterfinals being played out here on this stream. But now we're in the deciding map between Na'Vi and Fnatic. The semifinals on the line, and Na'Vi on the point of breaking Fnatic's money. Fnatic definitely wanting to take a pause to slow things down here because this round is so important. Na'Vi, they know it as well. You know, that hoot, that shout at the beginning, they know they're close. If they can take this round, it would be massive. And Flusha once again in that position, and Edward, it seems like he's wised up to it this time. They want to root Flusha out of here as quickly as possible.
Yeah, great flashbang in here. They're going to overwhelm him. Just man advantage coming in. Flusha goes down. He did do a lot of damage. Look at Seized and Guardian, but it's a good start nonetheless. And I think, you know, you're right. They were excited, but I'm not sure if it's not going to be a bit of false confidence here. I think even if Na'Vi win this round and make it 12-12, that's still a long ways to go.
Make it till you make it, Anders.
Look at the money. Look at the health here. Seized, Edward, Guardian, solo.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, they've taken tremendous damage already, but Starix, that's not going to change anything. One shot from an AK to the head, and Pronax is gone, helmet or not. And this is now a two-man advantage here for Na'Vi, and they have yet to really commit anywhere. There's a man actually sneaking his way into radio right now. Is that the case? From Fnatic, Olofmeister managed to find a man out in yard, and JW with the Swag 7 will get a kill on Starix. Brings it back to a 3-on-3, but Fnatic have the advantage. They have so much HP right now.
Yeah, Crims will take down Edward. 8 seconds, 7 seconds. Can they get this bomb down in time? So Na'Vi at least get the bomb bonus here, and that's good news. But holding it 2-on-3, that's going to require something quite different. An extraordinary performance here. Olofmeister charging down, not checking the corner. That's a big mistake. Now it's a 2-on-2. Na'Vi, can they really win this? 1-on-2 here. Zeus is going to pick up a kill, and he goes down. Crims, really quick return, and triple for Crims. He's been playing so well today.
Yeah, and yesterday as well. Yeah. Crims, recent addition to Fnatic. They've had a good time to gel, it seems, to really start meshing because Olofmeister top fragging for Fnatic yesterday throughout, or the day before as well, throughout the groups, but Crims as well, just doing huge work for the team, for the Swedes. Now it's Na'Vi who have to bounce back here. They did get the plant in that last round, but it looks like they were able to get an AWP for Guardian, and that's going to be great. He has that sniper rifle in hand. Zeus is the one taking the hit right now. He just buys an AK, drops it for a teammate, and just sticks to P250.
24th round. This first semi-finals is really drawing to a close now. And Fnatic are just 3 short rounds away from a victory. And it's actually even worse than that, because if they win this, Na'Vi are going to have no money for the last 2 rounds. So it'll really quickly get out of control here for Na'Vi. It might be now or never for them if they want to somehow bring it back here.
Exactly right. This is now, the tables have turned. Fnatic are now the ones putting the pressure on Na'Vi, and an instant headshot from Flusha picks off Seized at the yard. And Na'Vi are not going to be pleased with that. That's one of their AKs down with a lot of nades as well. So Seized was the point man there for Na'Vi. He needed to have those nades so that Na'Vi could have some options going into the rest of this round. But Edward taking some fire as well. And this is looking shaky here for Na'Vi.
Starix a little bit slow in the reaction. They did spot Olofmeister, but it looked like he was just too focused on throwing that smoke. And it's a spot again. Starix doesn't connect with the kill, and Olofmeister's going to ball back to safety.
Yeah, and Crims, cheeky spot, but Guardian knows it. He finds Crims instantly. He sees that door open. Crims has been using that spot throughout most of this half. But now Pronax holding it ramp, making sure that they can't get wrapped around through hell. Olofmeister is there to help with that as well. Na'Vi is still looking for a way in. It's a 4-on-4 situation. They need to get another frag here to open the doors, but they're going to get down onto the lower site and get this plant. Fnatic not realizing what was happening. They thought this was going to be an upper play.
Yeah, really impressive actually from Na'Vi, but can they actually hold it? That's the big question here. Big overextension from Edward. They got one guy coming in from upper as well. Guardian picks up a kill. Can he get one more? They're so close. They're wrapping around it. Oh my God, he picks up the kill, making it 1-on-2. That's unreal from Guardian, and now Flusha is going to be alone. Takes down one, but then it's dropped by Zeus, and it's 11-13. And what is the money like now for Fnatic? That's the big question. They do not have enough to force it up, so Na'Vi, they get a chance to close the gap a little bit more. I mean, Guardian has had not a good game on Nuke here, but those 3 kills, they made a big difference.
He just saved it. He just saved it right here for Na'Vi. That was huge. That second frag at long was so big. And now we have a real game on our hands, because Fnatic are the ones ecoing. Na'Vi are going to be able to get just that much closer to securing this map, and they have not given up hope yet. Fnatic just trying to set up the crossfires at this point. They have 3 guys with CZs, couple nades picked up on Flusha. He was the wealthier on the team, wealthier member of this team, it seems. Guardian looking to see if he can catch anybody peeking at A, but for now at least, no opening frag.
Get a really uncomfortable feeling here that maybe Fnatic could take this round with the C sets again, because that would be the most painful way for Na'Vi to lose here. flusha finds the angle. It's a cheeky spot, and C's not really quick enough on the reaction there. Starry's that's going to kill. flusha wants to pick up the AK, and they're covering it here. Smart play from Edward. That's really good. Some tiny detail, of course, but not at all bad that they don't let it get out of control. And Na'Vi will make it to 12-13. Fnatic, what kind of money do they have? They really had low economy, and they're actually going to go for a double eco. Do you agree with this?
Yeah, I do. I do. They have the advantage still. They have the advantage still going into this. They're playing the CT side. If they can just sit back and try and remain confident going into this next round, they have to take it. And they want to give themselves the best fighting chance at this point, because 3 rounds on CT side, I mean, we all know how easy that can be. Now Fnatic need to have the guns, need to have all the gear going into it to just shut Na'Vi down and shut them out of this game. Na'Vi are the ones, again, with all the money. But Crims, look at this aggressive position from him. He's all the way up in yard. Right on the other side of that box is a man hopping, and that's Seized, who's already taken damage. He drops down to 34 as well.
Yeah, some good grenades coming in from Fnatic. Really impressive. Just doing what they can with very little, and those grenades aren't going to stop them from buying in the next round. So it's a great investment, I think.
Oh yes, I mean they're still going to have plenty of money. So Edward hunts down Crims, manages to get rid of him. There's still a man alive behind T-Red, but Seized quickly dispatches flusha, and Zeus is going to find JW. This is now just turning into a game of picks, and Na'Vi have the advantage. Pronax down to 10 HP, still dancing over here though with the 5-7, but Guardian will get the overkill.
Yeah, and it's going to be another round for Na'Vi right now. 13-13, the game is somehow tied. And I think you're right. I think Fnatic should still definitely have this.
Oh, this is tense.
But at the very least, they got to be feeling the pressure now.
Oh, yes.
I mean, now they can start to feel it.
Well, this is it right here. Right here, this tells the story, the money on Fnatic. If they lose this round, Na'Vi are on 14 rounds, and Fnatic have to force buy.
And they've already had their time, right? They already had their motivational speech where they said, come on, boys, let's do this. Let's get back into it. And that they lost that round anyway, so we'll have to see if this is going to work out here. Rush going on to the A-bomb side. Great flashes now. Fnatic can't really see much of anything. And Na'Vi keep pressuring flusha and Olofmeister and JW. They come in with the kills, and it's working out great. Seized is going to be alone, and he goes down eventually. It's triple from JW. Na'Vi trying to throw in a bit of a curveball, hoping for that rush to work, and it doesn't.
Yeah, but 2 solid players holding from the site like this. I mean, that was crucial for Fnatic, actually getting both of them alive on that site and holding behind the silos like that. It was so big for Fnatic, and even when they were flashed, I mean, those were really good flashes coming out from Na'Vi, but again, you have to be so quick. You have to know exactly where you're going when you go for these A rushes. Just go straight out the door and be pre-firing these angles, and Na'Vi not able to execute fast enough.
And you're right, I think speed is the key.
Speed
because
is
they
the
had
key.
the flashbangs. If they had pushed when the people were flashed, it would have been different. But so you're exactly
maybe they're
right.
flashing themselves. That's the other thing. You know, Na'Vi, maybe they're flashing themselves in their excitement. I mean, in their haste, they're trying to get out there so quickly. I mean, it's just a little bit of polish on that play, and Na'Vi have that round, but Fnatic, they managed to hold, they dodge a bullet. Because like we said, I mean, if they lose that round, this could go Na'Vi's way. Now Na'Vi, again, with an opportunity to bring this back to 14-14. If Na'Vi win this, it's practically mapped for them.
It could very well be, but it goes the same way for Fnatic, because if they lose this Na'Vi, they're going to be bankrupt once again. So this is on a knife's edge right now. First kill is going to be hugely important, and we have a bit of a standoff over on this side of the map. So a smart idea, I think, from Seized to just see if he can wait it out here. Pronax has been holding so well in this ramp room. I'm not sure if this is a good idea. They are going to go for him. He gets the kill, an instant return, but there's JW with another one. Starix waiting for some backup.
Yeah, and Olofmeister quickly rotating over to ramp, plugging the gap, making sure that Na'Vi can't speed up behind this. They've got the bomb here, Na'Vi, and 3 members alive for them. Starix taking point, low HP. But they decide to back off, and I think this is wise. Try and see if they can't count on Seized, who's managed to sneak his way through main. Count on him to get a frag for them.
Would have been a big opening here. JW goes down now. It's a 3-on-3, but Starix goes down. An instant return. It's back and forth all the time. Bomb will be planted here, and actually Na'Vi don't have really great positions to deal with this. Edward is going to be walking in here. flusha is in CT main. Maybe they can actually. They're both coming in from this side. It's a 2-on-2, and they're going to double up on the aggression here. Edward has to get an instant kill. There's the one. Another one comes in. flusha now 1-on-1. He's looking at the wrong side. Sis takes him down. Oh no! You have to look both ways crossing the road, and flusha doesn't. And
he gets railroaded by the big yellow bus. Oh no! And now Na'Vi, they've done it 14-14. This is so close.
The big yellow bus, and you know what? In those CIS countries, they all have dash cams, so they have it on video as well, I bet. 14-14.
Caesar's going to be playing it on replay tonight.
Exactly. I don't know. This is not over yet. We might as well just see overtime. Fnatic are not out of it, but this is 14-14. I can't believe it. I won't believe it until I see it. Na'Vi on Nuke.
Na'Vi on Nuke.
I need
and
definite proof.
A map that could send them into the semis.
Until I
Fnatic.
shake the hand of an ESL admin who tell me that they did in fact win, that he's confirmed it, I'm still going to be a little bit in doubt. Seized 70 HP from that grenade. Fnatic on an eco, all CSAT 75s, and now would be the time to step up that play.
Yeah, and C's is just going to smoke off Secret. He does not want to deal with Crims. Olofmeister is currently the man holding there, but now Na'Vi are really trying to set up the play for control of Yard. They smoke off Secret, they smoke off main. They want to make absolutely sure that they clear this position out. Flusha is still alive behind CT Red, though, so they have to be worried a little bit, but that's going to be down to Seized covering this angle. Instead, Na'Vi decided to change things up. It looks like they're going to put the pressure out there, but Olofmeister finds Seized, and that's the Yard in Fnatic's hands now.
Yeah, nice opening. Pronax, if he gets a kill here, he is not going to get it, but it's very close. One more kill, and this could still go Fnatic's way. It's definitely not done yet here for the Swedes. They want to bounce back. They can still win a JW in the corner. And nearly a double pick up. A Guardian picks up the headshot on his teammate, so it's still a 3-on-3. They're making their way down. They don't have a lot of time. If Olofmeister drops the bomb carrier here, that would be huge. And they're also getting sandwiched in. 20, 19. They got to go. Olofmeister with the kill on Zeus. Flusha with another one. Guardian, no chance. He's going to go down. Olof with a triple kill, and it is not over yet. 15-14. The CSAT 75s to the rescue.
Oh man, and they do it. Olofmeister playing a crucial role, killing C's to begin with, and then just taking over long, making sure that Na'Vi can't get down there in one piece. Na'Vi taking way too much damage, and Guardian, that, you know, he's going to turn off the dash cam for that team kill, because that it definitely cost Na'Vi. That is a mistake that cannot be allowed to happen ever, ever. So Na'Vi, unfortunately, they lose a man. Fnatic take this round, and now it's completely turned around. Na'Vi are the ones hurting. They go for the force buy. Fnatic are now one round away from getting into the semis. And Edward starts off strong, picks off the upper. JW is down. And Na'Vi, they're up a man now, moving out on Yard. Flusha still alive, dancing towards CT spawn, but they've spotted him. They know where he is. And another kill. Edward delivers. Edward clicking away, and Flusha has to fall back.
Yeah, 3-on-3 here. Crims does go down. He's the top fragger for Fnatic right now. They're going to lose one more. It's now a 1-on-2, and this is either victory or overtime for Flusha, and he's a master clutcher, but this is really tough. He's going to have to go for a quad kill. They have plenty of time this time, Na'Vi. They're very far apart. If they just manage to work together right now, it could be great. Edward, is he going to get the next kill? No, he won't. Flusha's too quick. Edward denied the triple. Now Guardian has the bomb, and that's really important. He's going to go for the plant instantly, and Flusha, this could be one of the biggest plays of the tournament for him.
He's checking to see if it's on upper right now, because that smoke is down. Guardian with the perfect bait. But no, Flusha, it's on the other side, and he's going to waste a lot of time. He does.
Fnatic are in the semi-finals. Now we are gonna go out.
On Nuke, they have done it. Fnatic go through after a hard-fought battle. All three maps going to Nuke, the worst-case scenario. And Fnatic emerge victorious. Flusha clutches it and ends it on a 30 bomb. 30 frags for Flusha in regular time. But what a fantastic play from the Swedes. The DreamHack Winter Champions will be moving on.
Let's hear what we have from the analysis desk here. That was really a crazy game. Scoots, take it away.
Crazy would be an understatement.
Oh, absolutely.
Crazy would be an understatement, to say the least. I thought it was a CT-sided map. What is going on with Nuke today?
Look, dude, man, that game, I gotta be honest, my gut feeling, it looks on the surface that we called everything right analytically, because, you know, it panned out the way we said over the 3 maps. We tipped Fnatic to win this one. My, did Fnatic make hard work of this. But not only that, though, just credit Na'Vi for having the guts to come back from where they where it was like, you surrendered 10 rounds as CTs. You're done. You should be out.